Hello and welcome to my new series, Demystifying Hindu Rituals and Symbols. I'm Nivedita Ganapati, and if you're new to my channel, please give a thumbs up to this video, subscribe to my channel, and press the notification bell icon if you would like to be notified of the future videos I'm going to be sharing on this topic. So, I think a lot of the modern generation Hindus are finding it very difficult to follow their religion because they are being asked to do a bunch of rituals and worship symbols or idols that they do not understand. And in this age of logic and reason and intellectualism, it is not very easy for these younger people who have no background in the symbolism behind all these rituals to follow these things. So I thought I will start a series, and to the best of my understanding, talk about some of the things that a lot of people have asked me over the years. So to begin with, I'd like to clarify that Hinduism is an anglicized misnomer. That the religion that was practiced and is practiced in India is called Sanatana Dharma. Sanatan means eternal because it is not meant, these principles are not meant for a particular people or a sect of believers. It is true for at all times and for all people, because these are very basic and deep principles, quantum physics, metaphysical principles that have been presented in the form of entertaining stories to make it accessible to everybody, irrespective of their intellectual training. Sanatana means eternal, and dharma has many meanings, but a very commonly understood meaning is sorting out the human condition. Now, what is sorting out? What is the human condition that needs sorting out? We human beings are simultaneously made of two energies, the material and the spiritual. And the material energy in us generates the desire for money, sex, and power. And the spiritual energy in us generates the desire for Sat, Chit, Ananda, which is the truth, awareness, and bliss consciousness. Now, these principles, the Hindu principles, enable us to figure out how to integrate these two energies within us until we realize that we are actually spiritual beings having a material experience, and not what we currently think. We are material and physical beings trying to have a spiritual experience. In reality, we are spiritual beings having a material experience. So why do we have so many symbols and rituals? And today's discussion, I'd like to briefly touch on various aspects and issues that people have brought to my attention. And then as we go through the different sessions and talks, we will deal with each of this more specifically. So a symbol is basically a way of, it's like a bridge between the evident and what is you can see and understand to the subtle, which is beyond your understanding. It's bringing an abstract idea to focus. It brings an abstract ideas to focus. So in other words, Hinduism is a religion that, or a way of life, most people like to think of it, that allows for a transition from a personality-based reality to a principle-based reality. And personality-based reality meaning there are these multitude of deities and gods and their vahanas, their animals associated with them, symbols associated with them. But these were meant to make very complex concepts of metaphysics and pure consciousness energy accessible and understandable to the common man who might not have that intellectual capacity or bandwidth to understand these esoteric and complex ideas. But if these stories of the Puranas and Kathas are taken literally, they create confusion to the modern mind of intellect and reason. So if you are finding yourself unable to accept these Puranas and Kathas, then you must take the time to understand the principle behind these Kathas and Puranas and not discard the baby out with the bath water. So then these symbols and rituals serve like a flag does for a country. You know, we don't, the flag is not the country, but it stands for a certain set of values that the country stands for. And also that brings me to the word we use is idol worship. That actually gives a very negative connotation, because these words, the Sanskrit words, when they get translated to English, they lose a lot of the meaning in translation. The actual words used are murthi or pratima. Pratima means it's like, prati, going towards something. And murti is bringing like, giving matter to a spiritual idea. So Hindus do not worship idols. They worship the ideas the idols stand for, the principle the idols stand for. So that is one thing that you know, once you understand that it is not, we don't endow any great power to the murtis or pratimas themselves, but the principle that they stand for. That brings me to a question that many of the young generation, modern generation Hindu kids ask me: why do we do the pradakshina around these pratimas and murtis, like circumambulating around the murtis? And that's a wonderful question, because we have, like I said earlier, we are made up of two energies, and one is a masculine energy, one is a feminine energy, and these again should not be taken literally. Masculine energy does not belong only to men, and feminine energy does not belong only to women. They stand for certain qualities, and all beings, humans and other creatures, everything is made up of a permutation and combination of these energies. Now, the masculine energy is the active principle, and the feminine energy is the passive principle. The masculine energy is the, as you would call it, inception of an idea, or you know, creation, and the feminine energy is the reception and taking care of it and manifesting it. Very similar in analogy to the creation of a child. The masculine energy brings in creates the fertilizes the egg in the womb, and the feminine energy, the womb, that is the womb of creation, holds it until it becomes mature enough to be released into the world. Similarly with ideas. So the masculine energy is associated with the right side of the right side of the body, and the feminine energy is associated with the left side of the body. So when we do circumambulate around a murti or a pratima, that go around in a clockwise direction, what we are doing, we are always keeping the murti or pratima to our right side. And right side is taking in an idea, bringing it into your body, into your consciousness. So whatever murti you are circumambulating or going around, it stands for a certain principle that you want to imbibe, invoke within you, and you can do that through your right side of the body. And if you keep it to the left side of the body, it is taking that energy out of you. So This brings me to an interesting corollary where in Hindu ritual practices, we are encouraged to use only our right hand, not our left hand. And this creates a lot of problem for left-handed people. It's not that the left hand is bad or the right hand is good. That's not it. When we are invoking these mantras and we are doing these rituals to remind ourselves and to invoke these energies within us, we need to use the right hand to bring this energy into us. But when we are doing anything that we are cleaning ourselves, we use the right hand. And also during after a death in the family, when you do a certain kind of cooking, we used to pour out the ladle from the left side, because this whole thing goes back to the root concept. Right side, you bring energy into your system, and left side, you release energy that does not serve you anymore. It has served its purpose, it has matured, you get it out of your system. It could be a baby, it could be an idea, it could be grief. During funeral practices, we do everything opposite to what we do regular auspicious time, because we use the left side to release the grief that we are experiencing at that point. So today that's it, and please think about it. If you're one other thing I would like to mention here is, it's the dominant side that brings in. It's not that right side is the receiving side for everybody, but for most of the people, the right side or the right hand is the dominant hand. And so if you're a left-handed person, you would then circumambulate maybe and on the opposite direction, because that your dominant side is the one that you receive energy, and your less dominant side, non-dominant side, is the one that you would use to release the energy. So think about that. If you have any questions, please comment in the comment box, and let me know if there's anything you would like me to talk about. I have lots of other things that are exciting, things that I would like to discuss with you. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching this video.